I just watched this video, and it was this woman. She's just there, just nonchalant. She had something on her head or whatever, and the words of it said, and it was crying in the background. It said how a narcissist is when they've reduced someone to tears and they're in the other room crying. And I was reflecting on that. You know, I've certainly known people that do that. They upset somebody, you know, or say something to them, or the person's just crying over whatever's going on in their life, and they're uncomfortable with it. You know, I've known many men, maybe my dad, whatever, that, you know, they see crying as weakness. They see crying as manipulation. And in this video, it just really hit me, right? So their lover, their partner, someone they share their body with in their life, is in the next room crying, huddled in a ball on the bed or whatever, and they don't want to comfort them. And they, even if it's something they said, or they don't want to just be there for their partner. I don't care if it was me that made them cry, or something I said or did, or something someone else said or did, or some feeling they have. I would check in with my partner and want to hold them, or, you know, be connected with them if they want that while they're crying. And it was pretty much saying that narcissists don't. They just kind of ignore it. They're just cold when you're in the other room crying. And it reminded me of things that with my ex that I didn't even really, I mean, I paid attention to, but I was so shocked and so hurt, I didn't know a way out of it. So every time it would happen, year after year, time after time, I would just write it down. I had notebooks full of notes, and I guess I didn't see it as an option to leave, which is so weird. But I would cry. I remember when we were still in California, something would upset me, some cruel thing she said to me, and I would just cry. Or I would have somebody died once in my life back home. I couldn't get back home. I couldn't get a plane ticket to get back. I was just kind of trapped, I guess, in her house, which, you know, yeah. Let's examine that another day, Spirit. But anyway, I would be upset, and she would just leave me to cry. So I just like lay in the bed and look in the ceiling and just cry. And I'd write these notes, and you know, I tried to talk to her. I couldn't talk to her, and fell into it fast. We were toxic the first couple weeks, and then we stayed together 16 years. Anyhow, seeing that TikTok of the narcissist that's just doing their own thing nonchalant, while their partner, their lover, someone they're sharing their life with, they say they love and they're married up to, is just crying in the next room, and they're ignoring it. And I thought how callous and cruel she was, and basically like, am I done crying? And she didn't want to hear my feelings on it. She didn't want to read any of my writings on it. And you know, it happened in every house we were at. It just happened all the time. I should have left. I just didn't really see it, or I saw it as that I was the problem. And so I would just, you know, lay there depressed and not knowing how to get out of the relationships, and not knowing where I'm going to live and how I'm going to live. And, you know, she's 12 years older than me, and she told me, you know, she asked me to move in with her and said she had the income that would support us both. That was like in the first couple months. And then later, you know, would chastise me because I didn't have an income. Or, you know, want me to get a job, or I get a job and I'd make like $40 in the whole day, and then we'd go out to dinner and it would cost like $60. And when I say, you know, we're just in different worlds, like I don't want to do this, where I'm like, you know, making more than we spend on dinner. I don't want to go out to dinner. I'd rather buy a book, or, you know, do something else with my life. And so then the next night she picked me up from work, took me out for dinner, and then we went and bought a book. All right, so it's just about, she's money bags, and she's trying to teach me a work ethic, right? I was fucking 26 years old. I was already a grown-ass woman by then. And she did that, and I let her do it. Some things I didn't realize. And in watching the narcissist videos, you know, the narcissists, you know, their lovers crying their eyes out, and they're just like, whatever. Or they're on the phone going, oh my gosh, they're crying. Yeah, that's all they ever do is cry, and, you know, slamming them. And she did that. And I know other women that do that. if you're somebody that doesn't go and comfort your partner when they're crying, if they want to be comforted, or even check in with them, you're cruel and you're cold. And I guess I didn't realize that the whole narcissistic aspect of it. But yeah, it happened year after year after year. Anytime I was down about something, I had to deal with it on my own. Whether somebody died or it was some argument we'd had, or how she was cold to me, or how she treated me, if it made me cry or I was triggered, it was all mine to work out. No one to hold me, no one to talk to me, no one to connect with me. And she was so cold, and she withheld. It was like if I was her version of me and everything worked out just fine, then she'd hug me, or ass pat or kiss me. She'd only kiss me once a month, and I would try to be on my best behavior, so she wanted me. Had no fucking clue that I could leave or that I could live in a car. Shocking, and I was, we were monogamous, and so she had all this power over me, and I, wasn't with other people. About 14 years in, I started seeing other people, and we split up a couple years after that. She kept saying for me to go and just go be with someone else. I didn't want to, right? I wanted the life. I wanted everything in the same partner. And it's funny, I've went this 6 minutes here, and the one of the points I wanted to make about, I would lay on the bed and just look at the ceiling, and I would cry. I wouldn't, she wouldn't comfort me. It wouldn't be, because she'd shut down, right? She didn't want to feel responsible. And she's not. I'm responsible for my own feelings, but I should have left, because I don't want to be with someone who's so cold and doesn't care if I'm crying and doesn't want to connect with me. Why would you want a lover or someone in your home, or be married to someone that doesn't give no fucks about you in the other room laying there bawling your eyes out? I'd rather bawl my eyes out alone, definitely. A roommate, different people, but someone that you share your body with, that you're married to, they can't comfort you when you're crying. That's real cruel, real patriarch, and it's a male trait and a female narcissist trait, I guess. So fast forward, and we built this house to sell, but I ended up moving in with it. Anyway, so we were finishing off the lights, and so she bought me this light, this pine cone light that I just loved. It was $400. And I said she bought, because, she'd got the loan to pay for the house and everything. Nothing was in my name. Gay marriage wasn't legal. I made plenty of more money to support myself, but that money got spent frivolously because, she supported us and she was in control of everything. Anyway, so this light, she goes, yeah, I said, it's beautiful. I just really love it. And she goes, yeah, well, you definitely want to get something you love, because you're going to be laying there looking at it for many years. And it was not that I'm going to be laying in bed, just resting or meditating or whatever. And not that I'm going to be laying in it because I'm a bottom and it's sexual or it's fun, or not that. But I'm going to be, because I'm going to be in there all the time, crying my eyes out and upset with her and just staring at the ceiling, kind of just making fun of the fact of my emotions. And I stayed with her, and I couldn't find a way away from her. And when I finally did, it took a lot. And I guess I'm just talking about that now. I'm doing some different healing work, but I haven't seen her in 12 years. But every now and then she pops back in and wants to be my friend or whatever, and then the same stuff comes up. And, I don't ever want to know anybody in my life that is willing to hear me in the other room crying and not want to comfort me, even if it's a crying over our own fight. One of the last gals I was with, I'm not gonna just be vague here, but when we would upset each other, if we'd have something that would trigger each other, we would hold each other. We would sit next to each other and love each other, because number one, we're friends and we care about each other. Even if something we said, or if our own argument or whatever brought up the tears, we would comfort each other. I don't want anybody in my life that would leave me in the other room crying alone, or to, walking on eggshells or anything like that. If you're going to ignore me and let me cry in the other room, stay the hell away from me, right? Yeah. Anyway, seeing that video, I didn't even realize that she had these narcissistic tendencies. But I've been in denial for over a decade. And I'm not anymore.